I know some of you are probably wondering, why do I use a wheelchair? How long have I been using a wheelchair? Do I actually enjoy using a wheelchair? And would I say there are any advantages to being in a wheelchair? In this video, I'll be answering some wheelchair related questions. And if you enjoy this sort of content, please do make sure that you subscribe to this channel for more. Why do I use a wheelchair? I have a spinal cord injury as a result of an incident that happened while my mom was giving birth to me. And that spinal cord injury resulted in a disability. And because of that disability, I can't walk, I can't stand up, I can't run, I can't jump. I can't basically do anything that would require me to be on my feet. Because of that, I need to be able to move from point A to point B, and that's where a wheelchair comes in handy. Are you a part-time or full-time wheelchair user? Interesting fact. A lot of people actually don't realize that not everybody who uses a wheelchair has a disability. Some people simply have medical conditions that make it difficult for them to walk, so they may need to use a wheelchair every now and again. In my case, I am a full-time wheelchair user, and I have been using a wheelchair since I was 4 years old. That's a pretty long time ago. I'm getting old, right? Like really old. Not a comfortable feeling at all. What's the make and model of your wheelchair? My wheelchair is an Ottobock, and precisely it's an Ottobock B400. It's a very old model kind of wheelchair. I mean, I think one of the first models that the company made, so it's an old school type of wheelchair. And yeah, I mean, it works, so who cares? That's what's important, right? I mean, where am I kidding? Of course, I wish I had a nicer wheelchair, but hey, I gotta count my blessings. So yeah, for now, this one will do. Do you just have one wheelchair? I actually have two wheelchairs, and I recently got the second wheelchair under very unusual circumstances. A couple of months ago, my wheelchair broke down, and when it broke down, I was really broke and I didn't have any money to fix it. I went on social media and I asked if anybody knew any organization that I could reach out to who could assist me with funds to either get my wheelchair fixed or help me acquire a new wheelchair. I got a lot of outpouring of love and support from people, and I ended up getting money to fix my wheelchair from well wishers, and not only money to fix the broken wheelchair but also additional money to purchase a different wheelchair. So I ended up having two wheelchairs. People helped me get a new wheelchair, and they also gave me some money to fix my other wheelchair. I mean, how incredible is that? Is my wheelchair electric or manual? My main wheelchair is electric, but I also do have a manual wheelchair because my electric wheelchair is quite old and it does tend to break down every now and again. And also, electric wheelchairs are just not that reliable. It can stop working at any moment, and I wouldn't want to be stuck without a wheelchair at all, like what happened last time. So I've definitely learned that lesson the hard way. So because of that, I do have two wheelchairs. The electric one, which I use mostly, as well as a manual one, which I use every now and again. What cushion do I use and why? I use the cushion that came with the wheelchair. Why? Uh, because it's the one that's available. Besides, I don't really know much about wheelchair cushions. Believe it or not, I know it may be weird, but I really don't. What's your dream wheelchair? Don't get me excited about this, okay? I have had a lot of time to think about this. My dream wheelchair is called the Skibo wheelchair. Let me tell you about this baby, guys. Let me tell you about this machine. It's fast, it's efficient, it's what I can honestly call a beautiful, a gorgeous piece of metal. That wheelchair would really transform anybody's life. What's your favorite or most useful skill that you've learned? Due to the nature of my disability, I am not quite able to wheel myself in a manual wheelchair. So, because of that, I really don't have many skills that I can boast of that I've learned to do on my wheelchair. What skill do you wish you could do in your wheelchair but can't? For someone who can hardly push himself or wheel himself in a manual wheelchair, I think wishing for tricks at this particular point in time would just be a waste of time. I actually wish my condition wasn't so severe that I can't even push myself in my own wheelchair. What's the best thing about being in a wheelchair? I guess I would say the best part about being in a wheelchair is that it gives me visibility. I used to have a different perspective. I felt like the attention that comes with being in a wheelchair was a really negative thing and I didn't like it at all. But as I got older and had a bit more understanding of the world and how it works, I my perspective on that has changed. What's the worst thing about being in a wheelchair? The worst thing about being in a wheelchair for me, and I also think a lot of wheelchair users will agree with me on this one, is inaccessibility. Goodness me. Inaccessibility is a major problem. In fact, accessibility issues are very, very frustrating. What's your dream wheelchair accessory? I don't know if this could be regarded as a wheelchair accessory, but I would really love to have a wheelchair accessible fan. What advice would you give someone who is choosing a wheelchair? I would say think about your condition and what it requires. Will you be able to operate a manual wheelchair, or you can only function using an electric wheelchair? Also think about your budget. How much money do you have? It will also inform what kind of wheelchair you may need to purchase. Number 3, I would say think about your wheelchair dimensions. How tall are you? How big are you? Width of the wheelchair, the height, all those things you have to think about so that you properly fit in your wheelchair. Do you feel like there are any other wheelchair related questions that I could have left out? Anything else you want to know? If there is, I will be making a follow-up video to this one pretty soon. So I strongly encourage all of you with questions to send them to me through Instagram. So do follow me on Instagram. DM me some wheelchair related questions that you would like me to address in the next coming video. As always, remember, your life is a gift. Make it count. See you on the next video.